Just you repeat it and you say it and your side believes it.
Why would they do that when I can just say that's not true?
It's bizarre.
But who are they going to believe? They're going to believe me or a person who literally says whatever the audience wants them to say, which is what they did. Yeah, I'm not. Why would I lie? I have no reason to lie.
So it would have been interesting to.
If I fucked her over, I would tell the truth.
Yeah.
If I was like, we lied, we told her I was taking a personal day, but realized I wanted to get Trump in. Not true. I tried to do both of them in the same day. That was my idea.
That would have been amazing.
My idea was to do Trump during the day, and then her to come. She had a thing she was doing in Houston. After the thing with Houston, I go, I'll do it at midnight. I don't care. We'll do it whenever you want to do it. While you're in Texas, but I just can't do during the day because Trump's going to be
now
here.
Pause and think about what she turned down. Rogan's podcast isn't just big, it's the biggest media platform on the planet. Hundreds of millions of listeners across the political spectrum. It's a direct, unfiltered connection to voters. No editing, no spin. So when Harris skipped that for small campaign events that barely made headlines, that wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was political malpractice. Even critics of Rogan said the same thing. It was insane that her team didn't see the value in that appearance.
But they had to have known. I mean, the Secret Service there was 200 guys here. They had
in Texas.
No, in this studio.
No.
There was 200 people here for Trump.
For Trump. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It was packed.
Wow.
It was packed.
That's crazy,
bro. They didn't around.
Okay.
They did not around. They surrounded the building. It was nuts.
Interesting.
Yeah, they made sure that everything was safe and secure.
Wow.
So like someone had to know something that he was here. Like, it's not a mystery. But I said,
dogs through.
But I wasn't trying to be deceptive. I said I'll do it later. I just can't do it during this time.
That's the excuse they took.
They want to do it.
That's like, okay, they took that excuse.
They never wanted to.
When you add that to her dodging Rogan's podcast, a pattern starts to form. Rogan said straight up, they wanted a scripted interview. They didn't use the word scripted, but that's exactly what they meant. There were topics she didn't want touched, which is wild, because Rogan isn't even a gotcha interviewer. He's conversational and curious. He even joked, we can talk about cooking.
He don't care. He'll figure you out.
That's Rogan's secret. He doesn't ambush people. He reveals who they are when the mask slips. And for a politician like Kamala Harris, that's dangerous.
Had an address not coming on here in the book too, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean,
her team was not truthful about that encounter at all. They never committed to doing the show ever. They said that, I said that I had a personal day, which is not true. I said I am not available the day that Trump was here. I said that day's not. I didn't say that I was have a personal day. They just made that up.
That's crazy.
And then they also said that they sent someone here to go through the studio, like sent someone to do a walkthrough. Not true.
All right, let's get into the Joe Rogan and Kamala Harris situation, because this one's got layers. You've probably seen the headlines or the viral clips. Rogan calling out Harris over her new book, 107 Days. According to him, the vice president's memoir isn't just political reflection, it's full-blown fiction. Rogan says Harris completely rewrote history in her favor. Here's where it gets juicy. Remember that rumor that Kamala Harris had an interview lined up with Joe Rogan, but he supposedly canceled on her because Trump wanted the same day? Well, Rogan just set the record straight, and his version absolutely torches that story. He says none of it happened that way. In fact, Harris's team allegedly used Rogan as a convenient scapegoat, twisting events into some bizarre PR spin.
Just you repeat it and you say it and your side believes it.
Why would they do that when I can just say that's not true?
It's bizarre.
But who are they going to believe? They're going to believe me or a person who literally says whatever the audience wants them to say, which is what they did. Yeah, I'm not. Why would I lie? I have no reason to lie.
So it would have been interesting to.
If I fucked her over, I would tell the truth. If I was like, we lied, we told her I was taking a personal day, but realized I wanted to get Trump in. Not true. I tried to do both of them in the same day. That was my idea.
That would have been amazing.
My idea was to do Trump during the day, and then her to come. She had a thing she was doing in Houston. After the thing with Houston, I go, I'll do it at midnight. I don't care. We'll do it whenever you want to do it. While you're in Texas, but I just can't do during the day because Trump's going to be here.
Rogan's take is simple. He thinks Harris's team didn't want her in a real, unfiltered interview.
No teleprompter.
No pre-approved questions. No scripted sound bites. And honestly, that makes sense. Rogan's platform is raw. 3 hours of open conversation. If you rely on polished talking points, that's terrifying. Rogan summed it up perfectly. They're going to believe me, or someone who says whatever the audience wants to hear.
Rogan's theory hits home. He thinks her team just didn't want her in a real, unfiltered interview. No teleprompter, no pre-approved questions, no polished campaign glow, just a raw 3-hour conversation with the most listened to podcaster in the world. And honestly, yeah, that's terrifying if you're a politician who relies on perfectly crafted sound bites. Rogan sums it up best. They're going to believe me, or someone who says whatever the audience wants to hear.
Just look at the contrast. Trump's Rogan episode shattered records. Tens of millions of views. That wasn't just a podcast. It was a national conversation. For Harris to reject that platform because it didn't feel safe, that says everything about how her campaign views authenticity. They don't trust her to be herself. And that's the saddest part. Love or hate him, Rogan's show works because it's unscripted. You see people as they really are. That's why figures like Elon Musk or Bernie Sanders went on and gained respect even from critics.
Well, she also has been saying something really crazy. She's been saying that this is the closest race of the 21st century and that it wasn't a mandate. That's just not true.
It's not true.
Gore and Bush was much closer.
Yes.
I think that was 0.5%.
Yes. I don't know why she keeps saying this.
It's just a lie. And then also she's leaving out the fact that she lost every swing state. Every single one.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you talking about?
I know. It's
he
crazy.
won the popular vote, and he won the electoral college vote, and that's a mandate. Say that it's not a mandate. It's like, but it's almost like if you say it to the converted, that they're going to listen and repeat it. Yeah, he barely won.
Right.
Like, no, he won.
Yeah.
He won every swing state. He won the popular vote. Yeah. That's called winning. You win the House, and you win the Senate. That he won.
Rogan didn't hold back. He said her team never wanted to do a full interview anyway. They wanted a short, tightly controlled segment, maybe 45 minutes tops. But Rogan's show is long-form by design, 3 hours that strip away the polish. As he put it, you can't fake your way through a 3-hour conversation. He's right. You can't. After a while, the real you comes out, and Harris's team knew that. That's why they pulled out. In her book, Harris claimed she was open to the Rogan interview, but that her advisors talked her out of it. Come on, that's classic political deflection. Blame the team. But she was the candidate.
The finale colossaire.
If she really wanted to reach Rogan's audience, she could have made it happen.
Never wanted to do the whole thing.
Never.
They wanted to do like a 45-minute thing in a different place. They didn't say scripted, but they did say that there's some things that she didn't want to talk about. And then they denied that.
Yeah. That's what I meant by scripted. Yeah.
I said I don't care. I'll talk to you about cooking. I don't give a I just want to know, who are you? I'll figure you out.
Yeah.
I'll figure you out in a few hours.
Yeah, in 3 hours, you can't fake your way through a conversation like this.
No, I'll find you.
Yeah.
I'll find you.
Yeah.
I'll ask you controversial things. Like, it's all I have to do is ask you, why is the border open? We could talk about that for 3 hours.
That line hits hard because that's Rogan's main accusation. Kamala Harris says whatever fits the crowd. He argues that she's mastered the art of political shape-shifting. One day a progressive firebrand, the next a moderate mom of the nation. Whatever sells, whatever gets applause. But when the lights are unscripted, no cue cards, no safety net, that act falls apart. Rogan even fact-checked parts of her book. Harris claimed the last election was the closest race of the 21st century. Rogan fired back, "What are you talking about?" and pointed to Bush versus Gore in 2000. An actual nail-biter that went to the Supreme Court.
According to her, he changed his mind and asked her to record in Texas. Harris said that was a big ask, considering every minute in a swing state mattered at that point, late in the election. But she wrote that she was game, despite reservations from some of her team, if they could wedge it in.
Okay, can I pause there for a second? Because I want to explain how stupid that is. Okay, so assume it's true, right? So you're going to go do some rando thing in a swing state that's not going to get any media coverage because you're just doing a cheerleading thing with talking points. We saw it. Nobody covered those events. Instead of going on the largest podcast in America, where you could literally reach, what did Trump's get, about 100 million views? Something in that ballpark? So you chose not to address 100 million people because you were going to do an irrelevant rah-rah event in a swing state? Do you know how politically negligent that is?